Facebook, only on YouTube, I think. Yeah. Yeah, it's only on YouTube and X. Alrighty.
Amen.
Okay. Good morning and welcome, folks. Today we begin a new Maimer, new Hasidic discourse. This one was said Shabbos Bereshis, 1990. And it's based on the first words of this week's Torah portion, the Torah portion of Noach. Eile told us, Noach. These are the generations of Noach. And then it repeats Noach's name, or Noah, if you want in English, but we're going to stick to the Hebrew. All right, these are the generations. And what we're picking up on over here is the mystical understanding of why Noach, Noah, 2 times. So before we continue learning, today is the first yahrzeit of the Bida and Liba's dear father, Yeshayahu ben, oh my God,
Isala.
Bezalel?
Yes. Thank
Right.
you, Rabbi Fine.
So in honor of his first yahrzeit, today we learn on behalf of his neshama. So the Rashi gives an explanation, if you recall, of these are the generations of Noach, but then it doesn't go in giving his offspring. It goes and speaks about Noach, ish tzaddik tamim haya b'deirasav, that Noach was a righteous man. He was pure in his generation, right? And we went in to explain what does it mean in his generation. That was the Torah studies that we dealt with Sunday night. But here we're going and not understanding according to Rashi in the simple understanding of the text, but the mystical meaning of the fact that the Torah says Noach 2 times, right? And we're not picking up on anything else. So the fact that it says Noach twice is, as we will see, Noach is the idea of Shabbos. And at Shabbos, there's 2 distinct concepts and ideas. 2. Where do we see the idea of 2 when it comes to Shabbos, to 2 concepts, if you will, or 2 ideas? So our sages say that if the Jewish people would have kept 2 Shabbos in accordance to Jewish law, we would be redeemed. We would be redeemed. Now, on the simple level, it means in the desert, the second Shabbos already, there was the Mekoshe Sheitzim, the one who was gathering sticks on Shabbos, and so there already was one person amongst the Jewish people who wasn't keeping Shabbos on the second Shabbos. That would have brought redemption, and it, as a result, didn't bring the redemption. So our sages say that if we just keep Shabbos, the entire Jewish people, 2 Shabboses, we would be immediately redeemed. That's the simple understanding of those words, but the Alter Rebbe explains these words also in a mystical manner. Remember, everything in Torah has 4 and a 5th dimension on how levels on how to understand it. So if it's understood in the simple context, that doesn't mean it doesn't take away, shall we say, from any other understanding. Okay, so the Alter Rebbe explains that why 2 Shabbases that need to be observed. It doesn't mean one after the other, but in Shabbos itself, there's 2 dimensions. 2 dimensions to Shabbos. There's what the term that's used by our sages, Maila Shabbata, Yom Shabbata. The coming into Shabbos, and then the day of Shabbos, right? So like Friday night coming into Shabbos, and then Shabbos day. It's the same Shabbos. There's 2 different components to the same Shabbos. That's what we're talking about. And that's why the verse says, Noach, Noach, 2 times. Why? Because there's 2 distinct ideas in every Shabbos in its observance. Coming into Shabbos and then Shabbos day. Okay? Oh, Karor. So, now, so you're obviously asking the question, what does Noach, who's not even Jewish, have to do with Shabbos? So it comes from the name. What's the root of the or the word Noach? So according to the Medrash, the 2 times Noach referred to Naiche, which means a tranquility for him, a tranquility for the world, a tranquility for the ancestors, and a tranquility for the for further generations. Tranquility in heaven and tranquility down here. Oh, good morning. Tranquility in this world, tranquility in the world to come. That's the connection, right? Those are the 2 levels that we're talking about. And Noach comes from the word tranquil, means rest. Right? So that tranquility is the concept of Noach. And actually, the verse says in Parshas Yisro, in the book of Shmois, Exodus, it says, V'yanach b'yom hashvi, and he rested on the 7th day, right? Which is the actual word of Noach. So getting back to what we previously said, that was all from the Medrash, bringing out the idea of Noach and his connection, and his very name means tranquility, means rest. It means Second. Yeah. Mhm. So this and Noach is two times. Noach there's the lower level of Shabbos and the higher level of Shabbos. The coming into Shabbos is the lower level, and then Shabbos day is the higher level. So, we'll see what that means in a moment. So, Yesh Leimar, the Rebbe says. Now, this is all based on previous teachings from the Alter Rebbe, Talmud Tzedek in particular, right? Okay.
How much my car pretty bad?
Oi,
It's a banister. Like a whole dent in my,
what banister?
the metal that separate the two.
Oh, yeah. Oi,
You can't see it because it's,
right.
oh,
Oi. Yeah. So the explanation of the Maimer Shenoyach, Noach, the lower level and the higher level, is fitting with the idea that there's tranquility above and tranquility below. What does this mean? So there's a tranquility that comes from the avodah, the refinement of and the elevation of the body and the animal's soul. That's the lower element of the person. And then that's when you come into Shabbos. Think about when you're coming into Shabbos. One of the reasons we sing Shalom Aleichem about the angels is because what are we greeting angels? What the angels got to do with Shabbos? As a matter of fact, in the end, we say to them, Seischem l'shalom. All right, the fourth stanza is goodbye. Seischem l'shalom. Go in peace, angels. Well, if you and the reason why they're going in peace is because Shabbos is for the Jew, not for the angel. So what do you need them to begin with? It's because we're coming from the weekday. We're coming from, mundane world, working, and a mundane world. And that mundane world, 6 days of it, can have its effect. It takes its toll on the individual. Now that it takes a toll on the individual, how do you come into Shabbos? That's Ma'ale Shabbat, coming into Shabbos. Not so easy. We need help. That's what the angels are there to help us. They help us get through the threshold, to transform from mundane weekday headspace and activity into Shabbos mode. Once they help us with that, well, they don't belong. So we say, okay, thank you and goodbye. Right? Shabbos is for the Jew. It's not for the angel. So the point being is that the first level of Shabbos is the refinement, and we feel that, we feel that like Shabbos comes in. Now you can't do anything, right? Whatever you prepared, it's done. Shabbos comes in. Can just sit back, relax, tranquil, rest. But it's one of like, good riddance, world, right? Goodbye. I don't know from you. Cell phone, right? I don't know from you work. I don't know from you anything. Good riddance. But that's a refinement of, coming from a mundane, physical oriented world. And that's the first aspect of Shabbos. And that's a lower level because you're dealing with the, still some kind of attachment to your work day or work week. Then comes Shabbos by day. You've already rested. You had a nice meal. You already slept. You don't have anything that you need to disattach from because you've already been disattached from it. So Shabbos day is more about the revealing of the divine soul and delighting in Shabbos. It's more, first was the escape, and now nothing to escape from. That world doesn't exist, right? This is what it means that we have to keep two Shabboses. Real rest, real connection. Right? First, we have to disassociate ourselves from the things that are, of the mundane physical world that are confusing, that are, still a part of us, that so much so we need the angel to kind of help us at the lower levels of the individual. And then we come through that to a higher level of connection. Right. And this is what, the Medrash says, that it's tranquil above and tranquil below, right? That it is two aspects of the two aspects of Shabbos and so on. This is what's hinted to in a mystical dimension of Noach. All right, we did the first chapter. We will, God willing, continue. See you by Chumash and Rashi, God willing. Thank you.
Thank you, Rabbi Fine.
May the neshama of Yeshayahu and Betzalel go from strength to strength. May you have continued nachas from his daughters who join us all the time, day in, day out, and from the rest of the family.